Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm just trying to find some shade by the pool.
Now, hey! I got a tent in my truck too.
A tent?
Stop.
That was awesome tent, like
How many people would it
8x8
fit?
or something like that.
Public Allies has absolutely changed my life. It has, professionally and personally, not only has it given me an opportunity to work in a field that I've wanted to work in, but the Public Allies program has exposed me to so many new perspectives on life and so many different people that it's really given me the confidence to be the person that I want to be and develop the values that I knew I wanted.
Public Allies program has meant a whole lot to me. Before I started Public Allies, when I take a step back and look at pre-Public Allies Claudine and post-Public Allies Claudine, it's kind of like night and day. It's given me a whole new outlook on life and given me a whole bunch of tools that I wouldn't have found anywhere else. Last year, I lost my father, and I think that as a first year, and I think that if I had gone through that while I was still in school and not in Public Allies, I think I would have had a complete, mental breakdown. I don't think I would have made it out in the way that I did make it out as a Public Ally. And I have that really horrible moment in life. I was able to look at it and take so many lessons from so many different things that it ripple affected to. And it's growth, a lot of growth.
It's given me an opportunity to learn things that I probably wouldn't have learned if I didn't join the program. It gave me an opportunity to meet a lot of different people that came from different places that I've probably wouldn't have had a chance to interact with, and it gave me an opportunity to get hands-on experience at multiple nonprofits between my first year and my second year, and that's actually the way I prefer learning, by actually being on site and being involved with what's going on. So it was just an all-around life-changing experience.
Now I look at things in a much more positive light. I'm much more likely to collaborate. I'm much more likely to ask for help, as well as make sure that everybody on the team is doing well and feeling responsible for a project, and as well as my fellow team members.
So the Public Allies experience has been a really personal and really, I guess, eye-opening experience for me. It's really connected me to myself in a different way that I guess I had wanted, or I'd been looking for, but that I haven't had the tools or the know-how or the support to get to. So I think Public Allies opened up a huge part of my sense of self, but also a huge part of connecting with the community around me and people that feel similarly, but also that challenge me in a healthy and supportive way. So I think Public Allies has been a huge personal growing period and a huge personal connecting period for me.
I came back for a second year because I did not want it to end after the first year. It was so much fun. I couldn't believe that, work could be that fun, and actually doing what I like for a job played a factor. And I wanted to create some more change around me. I didn't want that to end, so I actually made sure I would be a second year. I made sure the placement hired me. I higgled them, I higgled Public Allies. I pressed them completely until I got in.
I chose to do a second year of Public Allies because I feel like last year, my first year, was a lot more thinking and reflecting, and I learned so much about myself and about other people, but I kind of felt like I haven't fully moved into the lifestyle that I wanted to, and the life that I wanted to lead. So coming in a second year, I was able to, with the support of Public Allies, continue to build upon those skills that I had learned in the first year. I think also in my second year I chose to move up to Hartford, which I think made a tremendous difference in my second year. I was able to move into the community that I was working in, and I think that move, along with being in Public Allies, is what made me go from just kind of knowing what I wanted to be and the kind of person in the environment I wanted to be in, into actually doing it in Public Allies. The second year program gave me the support to do that.
And I did a second year because my first year it was exploring myself, just getting out of my comfort zone. I'm very quiet and introverted, so I thought that to be a leader you had to be like this, out there and put yourself out there and talk and be in front of like a podium or something. That was my idea of like what a leader was, and it just like completely changed for me after this. I know that I could be an effective leader and make change in my own way. In the second year, I really got to practice on like what I learned, all these skills that I discovered that I had, and all this, and then I got to practice it and really like put it into perspective. So it was great.
Because of that tremendous personal growth that I made my first year, I really thought that I could apply it to professional and become the whole person that I want to be, both personally and professionally. And that's how I viewed the second year at first, but going through the second year, there was still just so much personal growth that has happened that I thought I was done with growing personally because of how much happened the first year. But do a second year. I did a second year because it just meant so much to me. Public Allies just means so much to me. And having an opportunity to work at a placement that I was really interested in and was able to sell myself because of the first year, I wouldn't have had that opportunity ever anywhere else. Have an open mind. It's okay to question things, but don't question yourself to the point that you start restricting and limiting the possibilities. Tyler said something at our first retreat as first years that is continuing to stick with me, and it's trust in the process. Trust that things will come out the way they're supposed to come out. As long as you have an open mind and put enough energy into it and trust the people around you, good things will happen.
So my advice to any new ally would be to take full advantage of the experience to get the most out of it that you can, because the ally program is not just work. So I wouldn't advise anybody to take it just as a job for money or job experience, because it's also a personal experience, one that you really have to be open to the different activities, the different ways of communicating and finding out about yourself and the other people that you're going to be working with, because it really teaches you a lot about yourself and how you interact with people around you and just the world around you in general. So
I would tell them that they really have to be open to everything that comes their way and put a lot of themselves into it, because if they stand back and they standoffish, they're just not going to get as much out of it. And I think that I can totally speak from experience, because last year I sort of expected something else. And as I got into the year and we started doing our Continuous Learning Fridays, I actually was kind of upset and stressed out because it was not what I expected. But when I really started to let myself just enjoy it and take it for what it was and put as much as I could of myself into it, then I realized just how valuable the activities and exercises and challenges really were. And it convinced me to come back for a second year.